Go either way, and obviously can still play at mid here for Quid, and it is going to be a Jax for Morgan, so it will be Aurora mid. And it'll be interesting to see how Quid does here against Zinni, who had a really good week 1.
Also, no flash on the Pantheon, so we'll have to be a little concerned if he wants to overcommit to any fights here. Jose gets stunned up here, trying to make his way back outside, steps outside of the Aqua Prison. Jose getting away now, reinforced by the shields from Core JJ. Team Liquid firing back as Quid rotates down into the fight. Burst of the contract is a lot in their first blood over to Team Liquid, as it is traded 1-for-1, but Zinni's about to fall now too, and TL wants even more. Seos has to try to flash back into his own jungle to stay alive, but no, it's TL 3-for-1.
Well, Shopify.
Really fast Drake early here, just about 8 minutes on the clock, but early Ocean Drake always feels so nice.
Yeah, it's really powerful, and their comp, I think, scales quite well, so they are not under any much. So I kind of wonder what the comms were in that moment. You know, maybe Quid's like, oh, I could go for an all-in, so Jan shoots at the arrow, and then didn't decide to go for it.
Well, Morgan's already going to commit the counter-strike up here as the ulti follows right after. Fudge forced all the way back underneath the tier 1 turret. Jose Diodo also shadowing Morgan. Meanwhile, down in the bottom lane, the 2v2 action continues. 2 Void Grubs have already gone over to the side of Shopify in the top half of the map as Jan and Core are thinking about keeping this fight going a little bit longer. That last little volley will turn things back in their favor overall for the trade.
Yeah, and they get the cleanse out, so it's a trade of the Encore for the cleanse, and when the arrow comes back up, that could be really problematic. It made the difference, but you can see there was a bit of miscommunication. Fudge was backing off as Contracts ulted and flashed in, so, you know, wasn't looking for it. Jose is back here behind Seos.
Oh, and that was not a good Aqua Prison from the Nami. Now Core JJ is going to step up, go on a killing spree here with a Seraphine. Flash followed by Jose's flash as B-Boy cannot escape. Now Jose finds himself fighting behind the enemy lines, and he's going to fight all the way to the bitter end. 1v1 against Contracts as Pantheon here. Another win becomes Lightning comes through. Core JJ was trying to get over there.
From TL in lock-in, you know, he was a new player coming in, and some players,
Whoa, Core JJ forced to flash out of that one. Does not want to eat any more damage from that tidal wave.
A lot of people were saying, oh, we're going to get Quid, and then once we get Quid, we're going to get Inspired, and people were kind of really excited for that potential of this TL super team. And so I think, you know, maybe fairly, maybe unfairly, Jose was kind of compared to that potential pickup of Inspired. So people were a little disappointed, I think. As a result, he got some more criticism when things weren't going as well. But Jose was great week 1, great here.
Now Fudge not going to find anything there with the public execution as Morgan continues chasing after him. Eclipse shield. Nope, that's not enough. Morgan picks up the solo.
And Morgan solo killed Fudge when Fudge was on Eclipse, and Morgan didn't have his first completed item yet. And that is a bit of a disaster because, you know, in this matchup, when you are playing Ambessa, you're rushing towards that Eclipse.
The best one-item power spikes in League of Legends with how much it enables you to do the trades, the all-ins, everything, alongside the steel caps that you're mentioning. And
okay, well, if you're not going to answer, you're going to go for a play on top side, and maybe now they will.
Okay. However, Team Liquid's ready to respond immediately. Quid's going to go ahead, drop the ulti. Jose Diodo has already arrived, and Contracts is going to be your target as Quid makes sure Zinni can no longer participate here in the fight. Public execution coming out from Fudge, trying to lock up Quid, but it will not matter. Now Seos in danger yet again. The Nami is a fish out of water, and Team Liquid reel it in. 2-for-0 up here as everybody from both sides gets involved.
Yeah, felt like everything's falling apart now.
And it might fall even further. Isaac B-Boy tries to escape over the wall. He wants to try to get to the blast cone, but he cannot survive. The focus fire takes him out. And now, oh my, there's no way. We're still going. Morgan drops the ulti. There's another kill. This one's all.
But Jose is around. Morgan has TP. He's way stronger. The TL bot lane is here. So it just felt like they realized they messed up their macro. Here's a Shopify half of the map anymore, unfortunately.
Okay. That's fair.
TLAW has taken it. They've drawn a new line in the sand, and that line is pretty much at the base gate, I would say.
Yeah, it's pretty dangerous to go past that if you're on Shopify right now. The Herald is summoned up here in the top side, right in front of the tier 2. Point blank, slam that one in. Morgan does the last little bit of the damage to secure the objective, and they are not done. Jose and Morgan continuing to push forward here in a 2v3, but the backup is ready to arrive. Encore from all the way downtown. Morgan goes on a rampage, Yawns on a killing spree, and B-Boy and Seos are scattered to the winds. The Herald just runs them over. Shopify Rebellion is turned into Void Time roadkill. They slam it into the bottom lane tier 2 at the same time. Everything's going Team Liquid's way.
Call it Jose O'Drift. A slaughter, 15-2. Here comes the Grand Starfall.
Okay, but what does it lead to? Nothing. Yawn immediately just fires right on back as Jose and Quid are zoning everybody else away. Contracts has merely delivered himself into the waiting arms of the bottom lane yet again, while Morgan is going to pick up another one underneath the
Tier 2. Is over. Everybody knows it, and it's just a matter of how quickly TL will be able to close it out. They have more than enough power to do this just with this Baron. Yeah. It feels funny because it's like, okay, yeah, it's pretty good timing.
Saying about, yeah, everybody knows this one's over. It's just about how long does it take. That's then the next test. You should be able to end it on this Baron push. I actually think that if you can't end on this Baron push, that's a little bit of an indictment of your cohesion, your shot calling, your ability to just like really push your advantage.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I will say I think Zinni, overall has done pretty well in the 1v1. The game is just kind of falling apart around him. You look every lane but mid lane, it's a 3K plus advantage.
Yeah.
And Zinni had a rough debut. Did have a tough debut, but it's kind of a similar trajectory to what Quid has had in his career.
Well, we'll see if they can bounce back, try to get that trajectory looking a little nicer here in game number 2, because game number 1 is about to seriously struggle as Shopify Rebellion are stuck inside the base. What you were saying earlier, my friend, you are no longer allowed outside of the base walls if you are wearing a green jersey in this one.
But hey, the second split for Quid, he won MVP, right?
Yeah.
And this is the second split for Zinni. He already looked really good week 1. And need I remind you, they are still, for a couple more minutes, undefeated and at the top of the LCS.
Yeah, they're undefeated with a 12,000 gold deficit. Contracts jump into the back line, but Yawn has already gone on a rampage, and B-Boy's out of the picture. Nothing Shopify can do about this one. Send the whole kitchen sink at them, but it will not matter. Team Liquid is way too strong. They're way too far ahead. And now with only Zinni's Mel still standing, TL is ready to push it straight into the Nexus turrets. They just have to wait on that next minion wave to march up the bottom lane. And yeah, I don't think Mel can reflect enough of this. Yeah, you can. If you can somehow reflect every single thing they do, including auto attacks, then you can hang on. But I don't think it's going to happen. Team Liquid trying to get enough damage here to finish off the Nexus turrets. Don't quite have it here just yet, and Shopify is actually going to get their respawn timers off. Concert or something, I don't know. But Team Liquid, all right, they didn't end when we thought they would. They were respecting the Mel. Now Zinni might just die before anything else can even happen in the fight, but he stays alive as Jose Otto puts the pressure onto Contracts on the left side of the fight. Quid has to flash away from the turret aggro, but the tier 3 turret is going to die anyway. Contracts falls as Morgan uses the stasis to make sure that one doesn't get traded back, and TL's just going to keep the pressure going. Morgan jumping in here with a counter-strike, forcing out defensive ultimates, forcing Shopify all the way back towards their Nexus. Fudge's public execution isn't going to do anything here. Zinni at least gets a little bit of a rebuttal, but that's not going to matter. Fudge is getting juggled around, tries to escape, but no, Quid goes on a rampage, and Morgan stays alive. They're farming Shopify on the fountain steps. A double kill back over to Quid. Team Liquid dominated this game from start to finish, 25 kills in 24 minutes. They wiped the floor.
Quite good into the Jace. I do think the early levels can be quite difficult. If you get too far behind, you never actually get the ability to look for all-ins. But Garen has a very powerful post-level 6 all-in. Jace doesn't really get anything from 6, so if you can kind of live till that point, you can start threatening.
Okay, if he goes for Garen again, he's going to jail. Like, that's...
You know what? I would give him a pass. Because it would mean we had to rewatch the draft, but we didn't have to watch Game of Kasante. What he does.
Well, Team Liquid is going to go ahead and start up yet another early Drake. Remember in game number 1, the first Drake was Ocean, and they secured it about 8 minutes into the game. Here in game number 2, they once again...
3-6, and I'm even? I feel like I'm hard winning that lane. Like, you are going to feel really, really good about that, because Rakan is a weak early laner. Is Zinni in trouble?
Yep, Zinni again under pressure from Jose Otto as the Cataclysm arrives to make sure the shuffle doesn't do its job, but Contracts ready to save the day. Quid still commits the flash to guarantee that he gets the first blood, but Contracts makes it a 1-for-1.
I like the buffer there from Jose, able to immune it, and now Jose going to stop that wave from getting crashed. Shouldn't be able to kill Contracts, can just kind of walk it back to the tower, but does push him back, and will
set of
have
objectives getting farmed up now. Team Liquid has Jose acquiring the grubs. First 2 are going to fall no contest. As you can see, Fudge showing up before Jose can confirm the third. But Jose is not really too worried about this. He doesn't have his smite, he already used it, but Fudge can't continue putting on any additional pressure, so Jose gets all 3 grubs, plus the first Drake. Neutrals are purely favoring Team Liquid here in game number 2.
Yeah, see? If you wanted him to be scared, you should have picked a Garen, buddy. You know?
Yeah.
That Garen roaming down would have been spooky.
Ooh, nice double shuffle coming out from Zinni as they go to make the play onto Quid, knocking him low, knocking him down. Shopify Rebellion find their play.
That was a really clean combo. Flash, shuffle there, engage on bot side.
Yeah, CoreJJ fully committing here with a burst onto Seos, and he dies before he can even unleash the Pop Blossom. Poppy with champions that can create their own terrain, because if you get that timing like you're talking about, it's just so deadly.
And you can see his career stats very good, but they're going for another fight.
Yeah, Seos dropped down to about 1/3 HP, a little bit lower. Jose and Core need some more damage, but Seos flashes away from the Dragon Strike, staying alive for now. Quid arrives as reinforcements here with the Realm Warp. Contract still trying to make sure that Seos doesn't drop. Meanwhile, Yon versus B-Boy down here in the bottom lane, as Yon does not want to allow the Ezreal to participate.
Ghostblade hops back to the minion wave, able to get out of there, no problem. That was a really nice angle, though, from Fudge, so credit to him.
Speaking of nice angles, Zinni looking for another one here in the mid lane, but the flash out from Quid, and now the counter punch comes in from Jose Diodo. Zinni down to 300 HP as Morgan arrives to guarantee the play. Quid barely holds on, but that's good enough.
Instantly CC, there's no way for the Poppy to necessarily react when they're just flashing out of a brush.
Well, Team Liquid still with control over the entire map right now. Zinni goes in for the swoop onto Quid, and he finds it. Contracts right behind him with the slam into the wall. This 1-2 punch. Shopify is landing time and again.
Yeah, I love that. Just the rinse and repeat. They go the first time it works. They go the second time it gets flashed. Go again. Just go right back at him. And that was really well played by Zinni. That was the very edge of the hitbox, it felt like. I wasn't sure if he was in range or not, but that's one of those things, and we saw his career stats on it. When you have extreme comfort on a champion, you can know those slim margins.
Jose Diodo thinking about a potential dragon still here, jumps over the wall into the pit, but no, it's secured by B-Boy of all people, and now Jose Diodo throws his life away in the process. Shopify Rebellion are bouncing back in the mid game.
That was pretty ill-advised, I gotta say. You know, going for the steal in that position without Quid there, it feels like it's very likely to be a one-way trip no matter what.
Yeah, now Fudge might be on a one-way trip of his own. Tries to go all out here in the 1v1 against Morgan, but the Jace has already secured the tier 1 turret. There's nowhere for Fudge to go except all the way home in a body bag. Quid shows up to collect the paycheck.
Nice movement there from Morgan.
He got the skills to back it up. Team Liquid starting up the Rift Herald now, but they will not be able to complete this objective before Shopify makes their way onto the scene. But the entire time, it just means that Team Liquid can use their split pushing power, use that Jace in the side lane to secure another tier 1 turret, this time in the bottom side.
Yeah, the hope for SR is definitely mid-jungle, as Jose trying to get some space here.
Yeah, Jose does manage to buffer the EQ, get away from Zinni before the Azir can try to find yet another shuffle play. As there's CoreJJ's engaged with the Grand Entrance, isn't going to get a whole lot. Core chunked down to 1/3 HP, but Morgan has joined back up with the rest of Team Liquid. So even though Core is hurt, even though they no longer have the Recon Flash, they do still have the ultimate. But Team Liquid don't want to overcommit. They don't want to make a blunder here, potentially throw away the 2,500 gold lead they've earned so far.
Yeah, it was a trade of flashes, but like you called out, Core got chunked and Zinni stayed full health. So that is going to make it very difficult for them to actually challenge here. But TL are still in the area and are looking to do just that.
Yep. Keep your eyes on Jose Diodo here, off to the side. Herald's down to about 5,000 HP. They eject Morgan from the fight here with the Keeper's Verdict, but Jose Diodo jumping in over the wall. Zinni is low, but he isn't going to fall here just yet. Jose Diodo dies to B-Boy. Zinni still barely hanging on, but the accelerated shock blast can't finish him off. Pop Blossom from Seos finds 3. Nice ulti coming out from the Shopify support to guarantee they're going to win this fight. Now Yon and Morgan have to try to kite this one out, but Fudge hits the Intofo strikes on that one. Contracts right behind him. Shopify
finish him. Zinni lives with sub 100 health. And look at this, the knockback from Fudge here onto
blasts are going to tear through health bars if he hits his shots. Shopify is still up. A little bit over 1,000 gold now with that tier 1 turret taken down in the mid lane thanks to the Rift Herald. As Fudge finds himself under pressure here in the top side. Gets back close enough to the tier 2 turret to try to make some kind of an outplay. Goes all out but finds himself further away from that protective structure, and Jose Diodo knocks him over. And now it's just more money flowing back into Morgan's pockets.
Yep, now he's going to be uncontested on that tier 2. Look where Jose is as well. Jose's saying, you know what? Someone might actually walk up to try to defend this from mid lane, so he's standing behind the tower there, anticipating that, but instead it will just be a trade. But TL are trying to start up Baron. They want to try to go for Baron, knowing that they have the man advantage right now. Baron at 20 minutes is risky from this game state, though.
It is on average in League of Legends is worth 300. If you're up 2,000, that's more than a pentakill. That's almost a septa kill or something. I think that's the right prefix.
There you go.
Well,
get an Akshan in there, they res their team, you kill them again.
Just bring everybody back. Well, unfortunately, they will not be able to bring back that tier 1 turret there in the mid lane. So the map is going to become more and more dangerous here for Shopify as Zinni is the target. Realm Warp arrives. Defensive ulti, but the Emperor's Divide might not be able to keep him alive long enough. Jose Dioto is going to full commit for this one too. Sundisk puts a lot of damage into the Rise, so Quid might just fall. All out from Fudge guarantees it. 1-for-1 trade with the mid laners, both dropping up here, but we aren't done yet. Fudge is eating so much damage from Yon's feathers, he has to flash out just to survive.
Yeah, has to run away there. Zinni did a good job buying time. They got to keep retreating though, because Morgan is here now as well. Zinni bought a lot of time. I know. They're just kind of assuming that they wouldn't try it again. I think they're giving the Baron.
Assumptions are a very dangerous game in League of Legends. You can finally see some pings coming out from Shopify. They know that this could be happening, but they know way too late. And yeah, it's sole point for Shopify.
Back to base, and they're going to try to just stall out this Baron as much as they can.
All right, Shopify, how well can you hold on? You've got to make sure that you don't lose anything more than what's necessary. You've still got tier 2 turrets standing in mid and bottom, but Team Liquid is looking to fix that situation pretty quickly. It's Quid, Yon, and Core. JJ with pressure in mid. Yon and Core trying to rotate down into the bottom side, but Contracts immediately with a tackle over the wall, looking for the kill here onto Yon. They force the feathers to fly, but it's Seos with a massive Pop Blossom. Yon is already down. Fudge goes all out, and Core, JJ, and Jose Dioto both fall. Once again, right when they need it most, it's Shopify Rebellion with the perfect angle, and they kill 4.
Damn, Contracts had so much confidence. Look at this. Contracts flashes in, insta stun on Yon, double knockup, and then Zinni is hitting them over the wall. Seos had such good timing. Hits the Pop Blossom, goes back into the pit to try to get out of the vision. Not sure if he did or not, but then flash over the wall, pops the Rocket Bell, gets in. Zinni's back to live. He's fighting.
Yeah, Zinni versus Morgan in the live as Morgan tries to outplay it. One more auto attack and he gets it. But now he's got to try to escape from Seos and Fudge. The Cassante is not very fast. It's hard to close the gap onto this Ghostblade. Jace, accelerated Shock Blast finds Seos, and Morgan not only gets the kill, he gets away, he dodges the True Shot Barrage.
You have to shoot those Shock Blasts through Fudge and Contracts, but if you can find an angle from the side where you're hitting one of these squishy characters, sometimes one Shock Blast to start the fight. Trying to find an angle here, has been walking around, clearing out vision, and he's covering for Morgan to push. TL are trying to draw people over to Morgan. If no one responds, it's going to be a bit difficult.
Okay, Morgan rotating down to the Dragon fight now, though. Shopify starting to DPS it, but it's not dropping particularly quickly. Quid loses 1/3 of his HP here at the very onset of things. Seos goes in for the 2-man Pop Blossom, but it's not a whole lot just yet. The burst onto Zinni nearly kills him instantly. Seos tries to get away, but Morgan's already found the kill. The Emperor's Divide accomplishes very little. Team Liquid looking for more damage as Morgan continues chasing forward. Fudge can't do anything to the back line. Yes, they lost Quid, but they got everything else. Now Contracts wants to turn the fight back around as Yon is forced up into the air yet again. And Contracts goes unstoppable, the hero here for Shopify. But Morgan comes around from behind with another big accelerated Shock Blast. As Contracts is the last one standing in a green jersey. They'll knock him out as well. It's the Morgan show, and Shopify Rebellion has already got completed a while ago. BF Sword in the inventory, working on the last item. The Baron is already down to half HP. Core JJ waiting in the wings for if Shopify tries to fly in and do something. Stolen away by B-Boy. Jace is marching down the bottom lane, and nobody wants to even be on the same screen as this guy.
Yep, but if he's not there, then you know what? It's actually Shopify with the gold lead. Morgan now has the GA, so that is a big buy for him. It's Shopify on the march with that stolen Baron, trying to put the pressure onto TL here.
All right, first Shock Blast doesn't collide with anybody on the Rebellion. As Shopify want to continue using this Baron pressure. They've got the double Baron cannon minions sieging the tier 3 turret here in the top lane. Those are finally going to get cleared out. Fudge providing a second point of pressure over in mid as Morgan jumps in after the Cassante here. Does get knocked back. Morgan might just get ripped through the wall. The all-out finds the Jace, but Fudge loses a lot of HP in the process. Sundisk still standing here in the top lane. The Fog of War gets spotted out. Seos seeing if there's an opportunity to punish the Team Liquid support, but no. Core can manage to exfiltrate in time. Now Fudge going to check into the brush. Core JJ goes in for the quickness, immediately finds the back line. Tons of pressure here on the Contracts already. Seos wants the Pop Blossom, but he's forced into the stasis. Zinni is already down. It's a disaster for Shopify. Team Liquid find exactly the angle. Core JJ instantly engages. It's a 3-0, and TL's looking to end the game.
Zinni was dead before it even started. Even with the stasis going off, that explosive engage from TL, they fully commit. and that should seal the deal.
Yeah, I don't really know how you stop this at this point. B-Boy's going to do whatever he can to try to slow it down, but Team Liquid have made their way onto the Nexus turrets, and those will both crumble before I can even finish my sentence. Seos falls here too. Jose Dioto just flashing over the wall to keep B-Boy busy, as Morgan and Quid will pad their stats with a little bit of extra minion kills. They're just making it painful at this point. It was a much closer game, but it's still a Team Liquid victory. 2-0. They'll take out Shopify Rebellion.
Dominant game one.